then boom, it ran into the problem of an inactive contract. This contract, number 186, I created it, but I did not activate it. So when I tried to post to it, it came up with an error and did not generate the actual posting. So now that I've actually posted, what about payment? So I go ahead and scroll back to my accounting log, and I'm going to go up here and click on posting the incoming payments themselves. And now we're ready to start entering the information for posting the incoming payment. See over here, here's the data that needs to be entered for posting an incoming payment. Notice we have a particular payment type for lease agreements, and we'll need to do things like entering in the bank account information as well as the contract number in question. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this navigation launchpad, give myself a little bit more room. And here I've entered in the account number, the amount, if you recall, for that contract 183. It was for $2,400, $2,500 minus the rental discount we gave them for December. And once we've entered in all the information relevant, we hit enter, and this provides me with the payment documents that are available that we created as part of the posting. And at this point, for me to receive payment for them, all I simply need to do is highlight and select these two rows for both of these payments and clicked on Activate Items. Once I've clicked on this, this actually generates the actual payment postings in the system. And notice SAP uses a document system, so anytime any transaction takes place within the SAP system, whether it is part of a sales order or a purchase order or a journal entry, it always creates a document and allows you to track the flow of any particular business process. So in this case, we did accept the payment. The document was generated. All I have to do is double-click on this, and it'll bring up the document itself. And here you'll see, here's the document, here's when it was posted, and here are the debit and credit entries per the account and the clearing accounts for the particular payment itself. So at this point, we have shown the cash receipts process, and we're going to continue on to reporting. Okay, for reporting, we're going to go back to the AR accounting screen with the navigation launchpad, and we're going to take a look at an example. Here's a tenant accounts receivable aging. I'm going to enter in the customer account number. I happen to know it in this case. If I didn't, I can do a name search or email address search or phone number search, etc. In my case, I know it, so I'm going to go ahead and enter it and hit, and this will actually show the aging of this particular tenant. You'll see that 3 months they've not paid $4,200. Going way back in time, there's another $22,000 that haven't been paid. So obviously you would never want a tenant to get into the state, and you can set up workflows to provide you with alerts whenever AR aging goes past a certain number of days or a certain dollar amount as well. I also wanted to show you tenant line items, but for that I'm first going to go in and actually post another incoming payment. So in this case, we're going to now do contract number 181. That's for Mr. Smith, not Mrs. Smith, like we saw earlier. I've entered in my account number and my amount, which is $27.25, and hit enter. And you'll see these ones in blue are the amounts that have been posted for the contract and are ready for payment. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and select. Notice this is the $2,500 for basic rent, $150 for Mrs. Smith, and $75 for the parking. I'm going to go ahead and select these three items and click on Activate the items themselves, and that will then generate the actual posting itself. So now I've actually posted that $27.50 incoming payment. So now if I look on the tenant line items, and it defaulted to the same customer number that I was just working with, it will now show me, after I've clicked execution, it'll actually show me here the actually balanced payment that took place of $27.25. So here are the debit and credit entries for the balance posting of the payment itself. So these tenant line items will be able to show that, for in this case, it was a balanced one. Here's one that I did earlier for an earlier demo that is unbalanced, and therefore it's in red light status. Also notice that I can double-click on any one of these and actually show the document. So, for instance, this is the posting that we did earlier. That was 5089 earlier, and if I double-click on that line, here it is. Once again, I display the document. In this case, it's the 2725 credit and debit payments to John Smith. So at this point, we have gone through the entire circle. We've shown you the management of the actual facility setup, the management of the leases, the actual cash receipts that take place, and some of the reporting capabilities that are most commonly used within cash receipts and within real estate management in general. So at this point, I just want to go through some of the key takeaways. Okay, so the first key takeaway is obviously to emphasize that that the SAP Real Estate module has a lot of functionality, and not only for residential, which you saw a lot today, using the facilities that we've set up, but also for commercial. And the same concepts that we showed you on the residential side apply on the commercial. We didn't show you a lot of other functionality. The fact that you can switch from rental unit to rental unit, that you can switch contracts around, that you can do partial payments if somebody's getting rental subsidies from third parties like the government or state governments. There's also a lot of deep integration within SAP core financials, which we saw today, not only on the GL and AR and AP side, but other areas such as project systems. If you want to set up, for instance, a maintenance project for your facility, you'd be able to do that in project systems, be able to do milestone billing off that project itself. You can link that to costing and controlling in SAP for profit center and cost center accounting. And then finally, there's integration with SAP Analytics. Not only the list reports that I showed you in this demo, but there's a whole slew of capability within SAP Business Objects, including the enterprise performance management for things like forecasting and consolidations, but then also other business objects reporting such as crystal reports, the dashboards, which I showed you earlier, and then also some of the additional web reporting, the web intelligence reporting that's also available to you as part of the kind of business objects suite. So at this point, we have finished the webinar, and I thank you very much for your time. Please feel free to contact either me or John Korn at our phone numbers listed on this slide. Once again, thank you for your time.